Many thanks for staying tuned. You're still watching News Today right here on Afia TV. Today is World Skin Health Day, a day dedicated to raising awareness about skin diseases and promoting better access to dermatological care. On the program today, we are joined by expert dermatologists to help us understand how to care for our skin, debunk common myths, and highlight the importance of healthy skin for overall well-being. We are now being joined by Nkiruka Pauline Onodugo, consultant dermatologist, UNTH Ituku Ozalla, and she is also a member Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Enugu, and also Dr. Uche Ojinmah, consultant dermatologist, head of dermatology, UNTH Ituku Ozalla, Enugu State, and also the immediate past national president of the Nigerian Medical Association, will be joining us this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
So good to have you both.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start with you, Dr. Uche. Yeah. What is World Skin Health Day all about? And why is it important we celebrate or talk about it?
Thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to be here to enlighten the populace. The World Skin Health Day is a day specially set aside by the World Congress of Dermatologists, more or less, to celebrate the skin and enlighten people about the skin. We are lucky a bit, I must say that, to be Negroes in the appropriate sense of the word, because we don't have too much of skin problem, especially provoked by the sun. But the Caucasians, who don't have as much pigment as we do, have a whole lot more of skin issues. And so in our environment, it may be new to us that there's something called World Skin Health Day. But out there, in the developed world, also so they say, they have been having this celebration for long. What we do on this day is that, one, we take out a particular topic that will be discussed nationwide, okay, or even worldwide. That is that we have chosen Nigeria to do our own this day. Others are also doing their own in different continents at about the same time. So we choose particular topics that will enlighten the people about skin issues and how to find solutions. And then we also have outreaches and free medical treatments that take place on this day. So to put it all together, we're using this day to bring skin to your consciousness, to tell you that your skin matters and that you should respect your skin and give it some latitude. It will be better. Yes.
All right, thank you. Dr. Nkiru, why was this theme chosen for this year's World Skin Health Day? It says a panoramic view of humans and their skin. Can you tell us more about it?
Okay, so actually the theme for this year's World Skin Day, chosen by International League of Dermatology Societies, is that there is no skin health, no health without skin health. And this is a broad overview of what we want to talk about. Now, when a theme is chosen, member societies and member states pick a topic that is still related to this theme, and they run with it. So we in Enugu have chosen to run with this topic, a panoramic view of human and their skin, because we are trying to bring to people's consciousness what we mean by skin. Most times when people hear skin, they think cosmetics. Cosmetics is part of skin, I agree. Aesthetics is part of skin, but it is much more than that. The skin is actually the largest organ of the body. In fact, it's responsible for 16% of your body weight. The skin is your first defense, you know? So when you think of your kidney, you don't think cosmetics. So that's the same consciousness we want to bring to people. When you think of your skin as an organ of the body, which needs to be protected, which needs to be cared for, which needs to be nourished, which needs to be taken care of. So when we say a panoramic view of humans and their skin, what we are trying to do is to make people understand what the skin is all about. The skin is everything you, your hair, your nails, your skin, they are all part of you. So we're just trying to bring that to people's consciousness today.
You know, before we talk about how we can take care of our skins, let's talk about the different common skin problems we face in Nigeria. What are the common skin problems you experience here? Because Dr. Uche mentioned that we do not really see skin diseases or problems unlike those outside. So what are the common skin problems we experience in Nigeria?
Okay. So in Nigeria, we have our unique problems. We also have some of the common problems that everybody suffers from globally. So in Nigeria, we have problems with skin infections, different types of skin infections because of our weather. We're in the tropics, it's humid, and then poor socioeconomic status. Most skin infections have been associated with poor socioeconomic status, and we know that we are in a very poor society. So a lot of people suffer from skin infections. And these infections range from fungal skin infections, commonly, bacterial, viral, different skin infections. And I must point out some parasitic infections, especially scabies. We did an outreach recently, and we saw a lot of people with scabies. Scabies is so common, again, because of the kind of environment we come from. There's a lot of overcrowding, hygiene is poor. And why did I single out infections? Infections, when not treated, can complicate in future for even more severe diseases. Nephrologists are screaming that there is a rise in kidney diseases. Some of these traces back to infections that are not properly treated. So apart from infections, everything that happens on the skin is not an infection, because most times people come to the hospital and they tell you, doctor, I have a fungal infection. I'm like, who told you you have a fungal infection? So everything is not infection. We also have a lot of dermatitis, okay? Dermatitis could be atopic dermatitis, contact dermatitis. In the common parlance, they say reaction, but that's not really what it is. So we have dermatitis. We also have some disorders that are not so common. In fact, people who have them probably never knew they existed till they had it, and they're like, I've never seen this before. What is this? Emelieme, that is what they will say. So we have some ones that are not so common. We have things like psoriasis, lichen planus, and a whole lot more. Then we have albinism. Albinism is commoner here than in some other places, and albinos have, people living with albinism have their own special set of problems. And then compounded, we have cosmetic problems. In fact, I'll leave Dr. Ojinmah to talk about that, because cosmetic problems are a huge problem
honestly,
now.
Because what we see now is influencers coming to be dermatologists, tell us use this. That someone recommended a soap for me to use the other day, and when I used it, my face started burning. It's like, what's happening? I started seeing pimples, acne coming out all over on my face.
Like inviting a problem you didn't need to have.
Honestly, before we even go to the acne part, Dr. Uche, please enlighten us on that.
Well, thank you very much. I was enjoying what my colleague was saying and nodding my head. Well, basically speaking, we have misunderstood color to be fair. That's what I tell my patients. A healthy skin is not tantamount to a fair skin. They must understand that what you seek is good skin health, not fair skin. When you accept that, then the next thing you understand is that even if you are fair, you are bound to get darker with age. It is not unusual. It is not abnormal. Because if you are 20 years, it means you have been 20 years under the sun. You are 20 years under gravity. And so your skin is being pulled down and the sun is hitting you. So at the end, you start having wrinkles and folds that are dripping downwards because of the effect of gravity and the continuous damage by the sun. It is abnormal for maybe somebody that runs around in the sun selling things to insist on being fair as at the time they started selling things in the sun, or a traffic warden. Now, why I made this point is that our people have decided to help themselves to remain fair. They don't accept their bleaching. They say they're only maintaining color. And that is an anomaly. Your color cannot be static, because color is dependent on, one, exposure to sunlight, general health of the person. Because if you have low hemoglobin level, what they say blood level is low, you cannot be pink automatically. So, in essence, those people online, well, unfortunately, Nigeria is a nation where everything goes, sadly to say that, because appropriately things should be regulated. I cannot go online and be running around because the Medical and Dental Council will take on me. I can't advertise. It is not allowed. It is if I take care of you and you feel that I've done well, you tell another. But I cannot go online and announce that I cure this and I treat that is wrong. I can put out myself, I'm a dermatologist, I'm here. If you need me, come. But the summary is that a dermatologist takes care of the skin in health and disease. So you must not have a disease before you come to see a dermatologist. We can advise you on even the cream you use, on the soap you use, depending on what we see on your skin.
Doctor, seeing a dermatologist is not, it's not easy.
What?
Considering the economic hardship.
It is extremely easy.
I was doing my research on how much.
You see, that's what I want to tell you. It's extremely easy here.
Okay.
Unlike outside here. Our colleagues that are outside here, in fact, sometimes they wonder whether we are crazy. Why are we still here? What are we doing here? Sincerely speaking. Because an average dermatologist, some of them in US work for 6 months and they're okay, they go on holiday. They have appointments that can take you 3 months to see them. But when people come even to UNTH and they spend 2 minutes, they start complaining and grumbling. You come the same day, you see a dermatologist the same day, and you grumble. It doesn't happen out there.
Okay, Doc, before we go to the price of seeing a dermatologist, we are talking about the skin, like a third person going dark.
Yes.
Might likely go dark when they get old or when they are aging. What's the work of sunscreen and anti-aging cream? Thank
you very much. This is where we now come in. That's why I say you don't need to have a skin health issue to see a dermatologist. You can walk up to a dermatologist or seek a consultation to say, how do I remain reasonable, stable skin-wise? And that is where you now talk about your anti-aging creams and the sunscreen. Sunscreen is the easiest thing we keep preaching. Whether you are fair or dark, whether you're young or old, it's never too late to start. That is the message today. If you didn't start yesterday, start today. A little sunscreen on your face and the exposed areas of your body will give you a better health.
Okay, so we shouldn't just rub sunscreen on our face, we should also rub on our body.
Yes, like your hands. Those back areas of the hands that are exposed also need sunscreen, because what happens is that there are elastic fibers in your skin, okay? And when the sun continuously penetrates what we call the ultraviolet rays, they degrade them, and they suddenly lose elasticity, and then it starts to wrinkle. Okay, this is more prominent in skin of people living with albinism because they don't have melanin, which protects you. So if they don't apply sunscreen, religiously, the rapid sun damage will leave them with those wrinkles you see on their neck and on their arm. And that's what happens to you when you're 70. It is the sun that still does it. It's not because you just grew old. Okay, if you compare a man that is maybe a laborer on the streets to his mate, who may be a doctor working in an office, you see the age difference is obvious. The doctor may be looking like 10 years younger or more. It is what the sun has done, and probably nutrition. Because if you don't eat healthy, you cannot have a healthy skin.
Yeah, I heard
if you don't exercise,
drink your skincare.
Yeah,
eat your skincare.
You live, actually, all health is interconnected. What gives you a good heart will give you a good skin.
Exactly.
You understand me? What gives you a good kidney will give you a good skin. Like she was saying, there are kids that sometimes, especially they have all these insect bite allergies, where you see them, they have black spots on the legs and hands. Those are reactions to insect bites. And sometimes because of the scratching, they open it up, they get infected. There is a type of bacterial infection that goes there. The consequences will lead to a kidney problem. And so it is vital for you, we keep telling people, come see the dermatologist. You cannot have the largest organ on the body exposed. And I tell people, like now, I don't know you, I actually know your skin. You are inside your skin, I'm inside my skin. Because if I can look at your face, because your skin is there. If they remove your skin, what will happen to the area? You'll be bleeding, leaking fluid. You will no longer look presentable. So the people we know and relate with every day are actually their skin that we know and relate to. That is why one of the functions of the skin is display. When you see that 17, 18-year-old lady, girl or boy wearing bikini and bomb shorts, sometimes leave them alone. They are displaying good skin. By the time they are 80, they can't do that. And that is one of the functions of the skin. And that is why when the skin is sick, they cover it.
All right, let's
just ask what you talked about the skin. What I usually say is that if your skin gets to a point where you cannot step out of the house without makeup, without covering up, then there's a problem.
It has started
if your hair gets to a point where you cannot step out without wearing wigs, then there's a problem.
problem.
So the skin is displayed. If it's healthy, you're
You
proud
display
to
it.
display it. That doesn't mean I'm supporting bomb
Naked. No, but there is an age that bomb shots is in Nigeria. If you go to Brazil, Brazil is a nation of bomb shots. People walk around in it.
All right, Doctor Nkiruka. You were saying something about skin infection.
Yes.
I want to ask you, acne is one of skin issues.
Yes.
It might not be a skin issue. I really don't know. Because you said not all things are skin issues or skin diseases. So what is the common cause of acne?
Okay, so acne is a skin disease, like you mentioned. It's actually a skin disease, particularly affecting the oil glands or sebaceous glands around the, it's a disease of the sebaceous glands. So acne is caused by multiple factors, okay? So the first is that you have excessive production of oil on the skin, which can be related to hormones, can be related to your gender, your age, and all that. Then secondly, you have the inflammation, okay? Inflammatory processes, okay? That also set up processes that worsen the acne. Then you also have the issue of bacterial infection, the particular type of bacteria that causes acne. Not all bacteria, particular kind of bacteria that causes acne. So acne is seen as being common. In fact, some people think it's a normal part of aging because a lot of people, especially when they're going through puberty, would have acne, as much as 30% of people. Not everyone has acne, some don't have. But at that puberty age, it's very common and of course can be a big source of worry for young people who it makes them very conscious. Some of them become shy, they cannot relate with others. So acne is significant. Acne is a significant skin health issue for us.
So how can we overcome acne?
Okay, so how can you overcome acne? Like I said, acne is not, I've explained that acne is usual during puberty. So first of all, is to understand that what is happening to you is not too unusual. But then again, the grades of acne. Now, when you have mild acne and you come to the dermatologist, the level of treatment is smaller. So acne is treated based on severity. Now, the problem we have is that when people have acne, they go use all sorts of cosmetics and they most times worsen it. Mm-hmm. So if you do not do wrong treatments on your acne, most times you get better. Yes, there are some people with very severe acne that might even need a lot of drugs before they can get well, but that's the job of the dermatologist. That's not the job of an unlicensed person who doesn't know what they're saying. So what happens when people have acne? They go to the nearest chemist, they buy these tubes. I haven't done a particular study, but many of the people who are coming to the hospital with acne have used something. And most of them have used tubes that contain steroids and other ingredients that further worsen the acne. So by the time they are coming to you, it's complicated. When people come straight without complicating this acne with things, it's easier to treat and easier to manage. So if you have acne, what I would really say, especially if your acne is getting a bit more worrisome, please see a dermatologist, because if you go and self-medicate, you're most likely going to worsen it.
To say a few things on
doctor.
acne.
Okay.
Please, just to chip in more on the acne issue. The current situation, we used to have this joke that since women stopped laying foundation in the ground and started laying it on their faces, we have more problems. Those things that are oil-based foundations, because obstruction of the duct of the sebaceous gland, which is the gland that produces the oil. You see, it could be on your face, or your scalp, or the upper body, okay? Any obstruction to the duct can actually trigger acne. And some of those things that apply to the face in the name of foundation can clog the pores and lead to acne. Certain cosmetics that contain halogens, like chlorides, fluorides, are also known to trigger acne. Certain drugs, some patients, especially a patient that may be on treatment for tuberculosis, can have acne as a consequence of some of the drugs they are taking, okay? And certain diets, recent studies have shown the tendency towards diet influence acne. There's a link, though maybe weak, between consumption of purified sugars and acne. It's not actually a goosey soup and granules, as some people may want to say. And acne, for a layman, is actually called pimples, in case you don't follow. It's pimples we are discussing, essentially. The young can have it, the old can have it. Like she said, it's quite few. And now let me say this. Please, toothpaste does not treat acne. Please, early morning urine is not a treatment for acne.
People use urine?
Yes, early morning urine. People apply toothpaste. And other things I don't want to mention on air that they know, they try. It is not useful. It can only, you're exposed to possibility of infections that can complicate. Because this thing you see as pimples, if it goes fulminant, you have a problem. That's what we call fulminant pimples. Where it now comes with systemic symptoms, fever, joint pains, and other things will join it. So please, if you have pimples, don't help yourself. You'll only leave more scars on and marks on your face. See us, and we'll find you a solution.
All right, thank you, Doc. We've been hearing, see a dermatologist, see us, come to the hospital. How much does it take? Let's know.
Well, I don't know what, you know, every man is worth his weight in pounds, essentially speaking. I cannot sit here and tell you what it costs to see a dermatologist. I will invite you to come to University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital Skin Clinic. They will actually tell you, if you want to see a dermatologist privately, the dermatologist you're seeing will tell you what he charges. And that is dependent on him. Whether he wants to charge 100,000, 1 naira, 2 naira, depends on how he values what he's giving to you. But I'm sure it's affordable within the limits of Nigerian standards. If you convert what they pay us to dollar, you will cry. So that's what I say. Come. Sometimes, let me also say this. We have been known to treat indigent patients for nothing. I must not charge everybody. There are people, you see, when you come now for like pimples, it's cosmetic issues. It will not kill you, so you pay. But when you have serious skin health problem that can threaten life, there are those, you know, people don't understand. One of my friends used to laugh with me because I tell them I'm a crocodile specialist, essentially. So he asked me, is there a crocodile emergency? And we will laugh about it. There are crocodile emergencies. There are skin problems that when they come, you will lose a patient if you're not careful. The person will die. Yeah. So please, take it seriously.
Oh, thank you so much, doctors, for joining. You said I said docs.
Docs.
Thank you for joining us on the program. Thank you so much. It was nice having you. I have one more question to ask, but I hope we'll just... There's this issue with the skin. Like when you're done bathing and you come out, you have this itching. What causes it?
When you're done bathing?
Yes, when you're done. Anytime you bathe, anytime you pour water on your body.
We call it aquagenic pruritus, okay? Which is water-triggered itching. Now, it's common in people that have allergy issues, okay? What you may call atopic dermatitis is more prevalent in them. Can also be seen in some people that have certain parasitic infestations, okay? Now, what happens is this. It's more common if you take that bath with water of extremes of temperature, too hot, too cold, very rare in mild. It can also be triggered by certain things people add to the bath water, like liquid disinfectants. It can cause problems. So essentially what we are saying is that it is treatable. It is an allergic condition. And now, to help you, whatever water you pour on your body and you scream, it's not good for you.
Oh, good.
And then to add to it, sometimes it's not the water, it might be the soap. Because the person does not want to open his eyes to the possibility that it's the soap. So they say it's the water. So because you don't just bathe with only water.
All right, thank you so much, doctors. Our time is fast spent. Thank you for joining us on the program.